everybody, welcome to Matt's Metal Show, yeah! Today we're going to be talking about Motley Crue again, just because there's a couple of things I wanted to go over real quick about this stadium tour, and the fact that, like, people are just fucking going out of their way to fucking talk shit about it and all that fun stuff. I will tell you this, like, straight up. If you want to go and pay a bunch of money to go see Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Poison, Joan Jett, and whatever that fucking band is that's opening, cool, man. Cool. It's expensive. The cheap seats are like $100. That shit seat, that's like sitting up so fucking far that everybody on stage is this fucking big. If you want to get anywhere close, you're going to spend $1,000. Minimum. Like $1,000. Probably more. I watch all these videos. I see all this shit on YouTube where people are like right up there. And it's like, fuck, dude, you probably spent $3,000 to fucking stand there half drunk recording on your phone while, you know, Motley Crue is standing there like 5 feet away from you, all old and frail. A couple things about the tour. You know, Motley Crue plays for an hour and 25 minutes. They're getting paid north of $100 million for this fucking tour. They play an hour and 25 minutes. You know, it's what it is. I don't know how long Def Leppard plays, but I'm assuming they probably play about the same, like an hour and a half. Poison plays about an hour, I think, or less. Joan Jett does about 6 fucking songs, so she plays for like 30 minutes. I don't know who this opening band is. I'll put it right here when I figure out who the fuck they are. I don't know who they are. There's some band, but you know. So there's all this fucking turmoil and everybody's throwing fucking stones and everybody. But I will tell you, if you want to go have fun, it looks like Poison is the band to actually see. They actually fucking play. They actually fucking sound good. And they actually are energetic. You know? Motley Crue, it's funny because I follow Tommy Lee on Instagram and he's now Tommy's suddenly miraculously he's fucking healthy and he can play the whole show now. Like his mystical fucking broken ribs are fucking magically healed in fucking 15 days. I mean today's July 14th. So less than a month Tommy Lee is miraculously fucking healed from 4 broken fucking ribs. It's a miracle. But I guess snorting cocaine off a hooker's titties fucking does the job, right? But he posts all this shit like, we're coming to rock you, we're going to destroy this place. It's like, dude, you're not rocking or destroying anybody. I don't know what world Tommy Lee lives in. I watched this one guy did an interview and he's like, Tommy Lee stopped developing after the age of 13. And it's pretty much true. He's like a fucking kid and he's sitting there like acting like they're destroying these fucking places. And it's like, dude, I've watched your shows. People record the whole fucking show. There's nothing that is brilliant about it at all. It's like you play up there for an hour and 25 minutes. You play Motley Crue songs. Vince Neil's voice is decent for Vince Neil, but it's still terrible. It's just weird. Like Tommy Lee's trying to like he's just like I don't know. He's tooting his own horn because he's getting paid. And this is all about money. Don't act like Tommy Lee gives a fuck about you because I'll tell you. He also posts videos of his 12-year-old fucking wife, Brittany, whatever the fuck her name is, sitting in a hotel room eating this lavish meal that was handcrafted for her. That's where your money's going. So Tommy Lee's fucking useless wife can sit there and eat fucking berries that were picked in the Mediterranean this morning and flown over on the back of fucking albatross so she can fucking, you know. It's like Tommy, oh, she's an influencer. So she's a fucking chick that married a fucking old big dick dumbass rock star. That's her worth. Don't act like she's doing amazing things. He acts like, oh, dude, she's so amazing. She's not. She lives in your fucking house in your fucking world, spending your fucking money. I bet you're a hoot. I'm sure that'll end in divorce. I said it first. Like, dude, a couple years down the line when she gets tired of Tommy Lee's fucking bullshit, when she wants to have kids, and she realizes, like, Tommy Lee's, like, fucking retarded, she might want to move on. Who fucking knows? But probably not, because, dude, she loves the money. So Tommy Lee's up there playing drums. Then he comes out and he plays this weird version of Home Sweet Home, which you can't really see what he's doing. So it's probably fucking recorded. We know Motley Crue plays with backing tracks, so who fucking knows what's real and what's not. And then you got fat ass Vince Neil up there huffing around, and he's like, and people are like, go Vince. He's done so much to get ready for this tour. Dude, you work every other day maybe for an hour and 25 minutes. You're so courageous. My sister-in-law works at a fucking, she's a nurse at a fucking hospital. She works like 12-hour fucking shifts, saving people's lives and delivering fucking babies. Fat-ass, old-ass Vince Neil is walking around on this stage for an hour and 25 minutes barking out fucking songs. And people are acting like he's saving the fucking world. He sounds better than he did on the 2015 tour, I'll tell you that, because I remember seeing that and going, wow, he sucks. So, I mean, you at least got that. You got fucking Mick Mars up there is just... People are so... Everybody's like, Mick's killing it on this tour. He's so fucking awesome. Is he? Well, first of all, the first couple of shows, I saw one part where he's holding his guitar up with one hand, and he's not even playing it. His fingers aren't even moving, and it's playing. So how much is Mick playing? And second of all, dude, he's just crippled and old and frail. He's got fucking some disease where all his joints are fusing together. Bummer. But he's got a fuck ton of money, and he's doing it one more time for more fucking money. So just keep paying fucking to keep Mick Mars alive. I mean, people are like acting like this is fucking stunning. I saw Motley Crue in 83 when they were real, and 85 and 87 when they were fucking real, when they put on a real show, when they had backup singers. Well, that was Girls is when they started doing that shit. And Mick married one of them, and then she took all his fucking money. Because she fucking was like, oh, you're gorgeous, Mick. I want to fucking marry you. I love you. You should see Mick's wife now. You see that old fuck? He's up there. He's like 71? 73 or something like that. He's old as fuck. Dude, he's like 13 years older than Tommy Lee or something like that. He's like 72, I want to say. Yeah, he's like 11 years older than Vince. Vince is 61. Tommy's 59. Nikki's what, 64? 65? And they're all old as fuck. Then you got fat ass Nikki Sixx up there. He's in his outfit. He's like starting to look like a sausage, because he doesn't do anything. He's got a bunch of money. Goes out on tour for 2 months and gets to split $100 million with his three buddies. There was a lot of shit that went down at the end of the fucking Motley Crue tour where they all like ditched each other on Twitter and shit, and they were all like talking shit to each other. These guys don't get along. They pretend they do on stage, but they don't get along. If anybody gets along with anybody, Nikki gets along with everybody, because Nikki's the ringleader and he's the one that he keeps this band fucking going. But all the other guys, dude, they don't fucking hang out with each other. But they're fucking cashing in. So, Nikki's up there. Dude, I could be up there playing fucking bass like Nikki Sixx. It's fucking terrible. If it's you. I think one time during the show, they actually turned the bass up loud enough for you could actually hear that it's actually plugged in for one. I would love to hear, like, like it isolated, like, for the whole show. Like, hear the isolated bass track what Nikki Sixx plays. He's fucking terrible. But anyways, dude, if you want to go party with Nikki, Nikki and the crew and fucking sing Home Sweet Home and fucking Girls, Girls, Girls and Wild Side and Shout at the Devil, cool, man. That's totally your prerogative. But people are like, some people are acting like this is the greatest thing since sliced cheese, Tommy Lee. Tommy's just hyping it because he wants you to go to it so you can fucking get him more money. Buy a fucking t-shirt so you can add to the Tommy Lee fund. But this tour is all about money. You see Vince Neil up there and it's like, dude, he's just mechanical. He's like a trained seal. He has no emotion to you. He's just, yeah. And ran tell Jimmy said to Hollywood. Now he's reading out a teleprompter, which came out the other day. There's teleprompters up on stage. Now, because people are dicks now, people got to talk shit. I talk shit too, but I talk shit about what's real. Can't tell me like this is fucking amazing because it's not. I'm watching Mick Mars come up and he walks over to, they're doing Home Sweet Home out on the little tongue, the little walkway that's out in the middle of the crowd, and he's got this acoustic guitar on a stand, and he comes up and he's all crippled, and he's like, and you're like, it's fucking hard to watch, dude. I mean, Mick was never like all over the fucking place, but at least on the Girls, Girls, Girls tour, he was still animated. He wasn't animatronic. People are like, Mick's so courageous. Mick's not courageous. He's greedy. He wants your fucking money. That's all he gives a fuck about. You think Mick Mars is out there like trying to reach the audience and wow you? Fuck no. He's going through the fucking, it's like a trained seal, just like Vince Neil, dude. Vince Neil's out there. He doesn't really talk to the guy. He's like, how you gotta do it? I don't give a fuck. I'm just asking because I gotta pretend like I fucking care. Like, I don't even know what city we're in. But I'm staying at the Four Seasons, eating fucking tacos and drinking fucking, tequila. But, so these footage came out, pictures came out, and they showed a teleprompter on stage. So everybody loses their mind. They're like, Vince Neil's using a teleprompter. Dude, Ozzy uses a teleprompter. Judas Priest uses a teleprompter. I know Bruce Dickinson was talking shit about using a teleprompter because he was like, especially for Priest, because he's like, who needs a teleprompter to sing Breaking the Law? But obviously Vince needs a fucking teleprompter. Oh, fucking well, dude, I remember watching Sinatra towards the end. He had 4 of them. He had one going in every direction so he could fucking sing, that's life. That's what other people say. I'm riding high on Monday. Shot down in May. I'm doing the Dave Lee Roth version. So, this teleprompter shit, it's all over the internet. People talking shit, there is a teleprompter. You're like, dude, that's the least of your worries. They're using a backing track. So how much of that music is actually live? I'm sure Vince is singing's live because it doesn't sound like a backing track. It sounds like shit. So, but it sounds less shitty. So that's the thing that we've become accustomed to is like, well, it doesn't sound as bad as it did on the farewell tour. So Vince has improved, but people are giving him like accolades, like he's fucking turned his shit around and he sounds like, Vince Steele for fucking In the Studio from 1985. He doesn't. He's fucking old and he didn't take care of himself. So then Dee Snider, and this is where I'm going with this. Dee Snider, we all know Dee Snider, right? From Twisted Sister. Some of us do. A lot of us probably don't or don't care because I don't know a lot of huge fucking Twisted Sister fans, but hey. So he goes on, and there's this article, but I follow him on Twitter, and I rarely go on fucking Twitter because most of the shit that's written on Twitter, it just makes my head hurt. Like, just going down my whatever the fuck it's called, it just makes me dumber by the second. And it's funny because I actually put that the other day. I actually went on Twitter because I was bored, and I put that. I said, wow, reading my Twitter feed actually makes me dumber by the second. And some guy who is this huge Adam Lambert fan, apparently, he put, because I guess he follows me. I got all these people that follow me on Twitter, and I don't even fucking know who the fuck they are, but he puts, well, you choose who you follow. And I said, yeah, but, sometimes when you're heroes, they say a lot of stupid shit. And it's disappointing. Like, listening to Stephen King, I love Stephen King. I have every fucking Stephen King book ever to come out. I fucking love him. But I will tell you, like, dude, all that guy does is sit at home and sit on Twitter and say dumb shit all day long. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about your politics. I don't fucking care. You sound like a little bitch, is what you sound like. If you want to change the world, don't sit on Twitter like a little person behind the man behind the curtain. Go fucking do something. Stephen King, go run for president, asshole. You want to change the fucking world. But no, it's easier to just sit at home and talk shit. Now, I'm not defending anybody because I think all of fucking Washington, all that shit is a bunch of bullshit and all those people are fucking assholes. Every fucking one of them, whether they're Democrats or Republican, they're all a bunch of fucking self-centered cocksuckers. So, but at the same time, I really don't like to listen to that bullshit. So I put that in the guy, But I follow Dee, and I used to kind of get along with Dee. I've had interactions with Dee. I did one of my metal shows about Dee, and he actually watched it, I remember, and we actually had an interaction where we talked about it. It was years ago, where I was kind of defending him back when he got into a fight with Paul Stanley. Because Paul Stanley called Twisted Sister like the clowns of rock or something. It was like, well, I thought that was Kiss. Don't act like Kiss is royalty. They're a bunch of fucking jokers, just like fucking Twisted Sister. You were around longer, and you hit a lot earlier. But I follow Dee, and some of his stuff, I used to listen to him, and he would say some fun stuff. But lately, man, I see him on fucking Twitter, and he's just talking out of his fucking ass. And it's like, dude, you're not relevant, man. So he puts, I never used a teleprompter because I didn't fuck myself up with drugs and alcohol. Well, first of all, Dee, no one fucking asked you. Are you on a big giant stadium tour making $100 million? No, you're not. I mean, yeah, you probably play shows over in fucking England and Europe, like big fucking festival shows where you get paid in drachmas or fucking whatever the fuck the currency of Albania is. And Dee saved a couple of dreks, couple of fucking shekels over the years, so he's got some money. He can talk shit in his palatial house in Long Island. I'm sure he's not living next door to Billy Joel though. But yeah, I was fucking reading this shit, and so I kind of started talking shit to him. He won't reply to me though, because he's a bitch. But I fucking was like, dude, you were never as big as Motley Crue, so you're not even in the same conversation. So when the fuck was Twisted Sister in the same conversation as fucking Motley Crue, you know. I mean, you could argue the point, and I will, because I got a list here. You could argue a point and say, well, Twisted Sister were better musicians than Motley Crue. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny when you look it up though, and you're like Eddie Fingers Ojeda or Ojeda or whatever the fuck Eddie's name is. Mark Mendoza, JJ French, AJ Perro on drums, right? Passed away. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, you know, here's Dee chiming in, fucking talking shit about Motley Crue, saying like, oh yeah, he's fucking teleprompters because he did a bunch of drugs and shit. Yeah, Motley Crue did a bunch of drugs. You know why? Because they sold 100 million albums worldwide. Twisted Sister sold 12. So, you know, just because Dee, just like Gene Simmons, who thinks like because he doesn't do drugs and alcohol, that he's superior to the world. I did drugs and alcohol and I had a blast. Go fuck yourself. You just didn't live. You're like a fucking boring old man. So I started thinking about it, and I was like, well, let's fucking take Twisted Sister, because Dee apparently thinks that he's in the same fucking echelon as fucking Motley Crue, and we'll go album by album. So, and then I'll rank the Twisted Sister albums. I already ranked the Motley Crue albums. Wasn't that hard. I'll rank the Twisted Sister albums. It's not that hard. So Twisted Sister has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 albums. And then we'll count their greatest hits, Nasty Cuts. And then Motley Crue has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 albums. One of them without Vince Neil, but we'll still count it. And then we'll count 2 of their greatest hits, Decade of Decadence and Red, White, and Crew. Just so we can do a comparison, so we can see if Dee should be chiming in on what Vince is doing. So, Twisted Sister opened up with Under the Blade in 1982. And now, according to Wikipedia, but we all know how classic Wikipedia is, that album has sold 2 million copies worldwide, but it's never certified in any country, including America. So, and then Motley Crue came out in 1982 with Too Fast for Love. Now, some people would say, oh, no, it came out in 81. Oh, it was released in 81 on Leather Records, but guess what? Nobody fucking heard it because there was like 8 fucking copies. Not until Elektra put it out in 82 did anybody fucking hear that album. So you could sit there and say it was 81. Sure, that's when it first came out, but the Elektra version came out in 82, and that's the version where actually people heard. That went platinum. 1 million copies sold in America. Don't know what the worldwide, count is, but it went platinum. So nothing for Twisted Sister. Platinum for Motley Crue. Now, I know it went platinum years after it was put out, but Under the Blade has had the same amount of time to catch up. Still nothing. And then you got You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, which is probably the best Twisted Sister album musically. Came out in 1983, and it went gold here in America. It went gold. 500,000 copies sold. Shout at the Devil came out in 1983 as well. It went 4 times platinum. Four times platinum, gold. Okay, so far Motley Crue's winning the race here. 4 million copies to 500,000 copies. All right. And then Twisted Sister's breakout album, based mostly on MTV, which we could say the same for Motley Crue, was based mostly on MTV. You know, it Shout at the Devil, had Looks That Kill, right? Got Too Young to Fall in Love. Those videos were played on MTV all the time. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. There was a video for it, but it wasn't. It was one of those. Oh, they'll play it on Headbangers Ball. Twisted Sister had kind of got this following over in England at that time. You know, P. Way from UFO is the one that produced their first album. Twisted Sister had been around for years and years and years, playing the the New York club circuit, New York City, Long Island, Jersey. They were making a ton of fucking money just being an unsigned band, playing big old fucking shows at theaters because people were bored and they wanted to fucking go see that shit. But they came out with Stay Hungry, had 2 really big songs off of there, right? We're not gonna take it. No. We ain't got, which Dee Snider thinks is like the fucking anthem song for the millennium, for the fucking, since the dawn of time. And I wanna rock. I want to rock. Mind-bending stuff. Both videos on MTV played into the fucking ground. They had a bunch of people from Animal House in them. That album, released in 1984, went 3 times platinum. Theater of Pain, which was released in 85, because Motley Crue was out touring with Ozzy in 84, doing a bunch of cocaine and kind of getting noticed. Theater of Pain went 4 times platinum. 4 times fucking platinum. 3 times platinum for Stay Hungry, which was a huge album for fucking, Twisted Sister. 4 times platinum for Theater of Pain. Then we got Come Out and Play. 1985. Twisted Sister decided to do a cover of fucking the Shangri-La's Leader of the Pack. And then they did a song with Alice Cooper. School, right? Boom, boom, boom. I blotted it out of my mind because it was so fucking terrible. Boom, boom, boom. Be cruel to your school. And, of course, they spelled cruel incorrectly and school incorrectly because they were being cool. Or so they thought. The video got banned on MTV because it had a bunch of zombies where they're ripping faces off and stuff. When you watch it now, you're like, I think that was on the Disney Channel. Because it's so cheesy. But back in 85, they weren't exactly especially happy with that on MTV. So the album kind of derailed Twisted Sister, and it went gold. It went gold. So in 1987, basically, Twisted Sister was like one up on them, because they were coming out with an album every year, where Motley Crue started coming out with albums every 2 years. Because they were successful, because they would go on tour for 2 fucking years, because they were making a ton of fucking money, because they were selling 4 million fucking albums. When you open for somebody, because on the Stay Hungry album, they opened for Iron Maiden in 84 on the fucking Power Slave tour. By 85, Motley Crue was headlining. So, Twisted Sister was not headlining. I don't think they ever headlined, I want to say. I don't know. They might have, maybe in Europe. Here in America, I don't recall Twisted Sister headlining a show, but I'll look it up and put it right here if they did or if they didn't. Yeah, Come Out and Play, it didn't go over well. People started seeing, oh, wait, well, because Dee Snider writes all the fucking songs, so there's not, is it a band or is it just the Dee Snider band? And basically it was the Dee Snider band, which is another thing that Dee said when he was talking shit about Vince doing a teleprompter. Well, I remember all the words I wrote. That's because you wrote all the fucking words, because you wrote all the fucking songs. Vince Neil didn't write all the fucking words. Nikki Sixx writes all the fucking lyrics. Vince Neil wrote the lyrics. Like on Shout at the Devil, he wrote or he helped with 10 Seconds to Love. Vince Neil doesn't write shit. There's a couple of song credits here and there, but Vince Neil doesn't really write the lyrics. Nikki Sixx does for Motley Crue. So, another point dumbass Dee Snider can't understand. Anyways, Motley Crue in 87 came out with Girls, Girls, Girls. And guess what? It went fucking 4 times platinum. So, 4 times platinum, 3 times in a row. Boom, 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 boom. 4 times platinum. Holy shit. And they caught up to Twisted Sister, right? Because in 1987, Twisted Sister came out with an album called Love Is for Suckers in 1987. And it was supposed to be like a Dee Snider solo album, but I think Atlantic was their label at the time. And they were like, it should be a Twisted Sister album. So Twisted Sister, I'll have to look it up. I think they played on it. Let's fucking check. You can't kill rock and roll. Love Is for Suckers. Let's see who fucking played on this pile of shit. Yeah, they fucking played on it. Boom, boom, boom. Reb Beach played on it too, by the way. Additional guitars. Because Eddie Fingers Ojeda. Or Ojeda. I don't know if the J is like a or a J. But apparently he wasn't awesome enough, so they had to get Reb Beach in there, right? He played for Winger and Whitesnake, right? Reb Beach. Now, this was supposed to be a fucking all songs written by Dee Snider. Shocking. This album did not go over well. It did not certify, and people were done with Twisted Sister. Basically, Twisted Sister had shot themselves in the head with Come Out and Play, with the album with the little thing that popped up with Dee Snider in it. Because it was like, people started saying, well, Dee Snider, Dee Snider. And it's like, yeah, it's fucking Dee Snider's band. Even though Dee Snider's not an original member of Twisted Sister, it was J.J. French's band. Dee Snider was like the third singer or something, but then he started writing everything, so he's the one that got the bulk of the money, because when you write all the fucking songs, you get all the publishing and shit like that, so guess what? Dee Snider's the one that raked up on Twisted Sister, and those guys didn't, so Love Is for Suckers didn't do shit. In 1989, well after Twisted Sister broke up, Motley Crue came out with Dr. Feelgood. That poppy Dr. Feelgood album. It went 6 times fucking platinum. Yep. Then you gotta wait for Twisted Sister to catch up, because they didn't come out with another album until 2006. Now, they did come out with a, what was that fucking album called? Where they re-recorded. Boom, boom, boom. Where's that one where they re-recorded Stay Hungry? It was called Still Hungry. When was that? It doesn't even say on here. That's how fucking lame that album was. Big hits and nasty cuts. Dude, I know you love like sitting here staring at me, watching me stare at this fucking screen and try and figure out what the fuck. I don't know when the fuck that came out, but they did get back together at some point, and they released an album called Still Hungry, where they basically re-recorded Stay Hungry, their most important album sales-wise. I don't know whose idea that. Hey, dude, we'll just re-record the whole album, and then what? People are gonna go, whoa! I mean, just talk about fucking stupid moves. I mean, what a waste of time. Like, why? Because you can't write anything? Is that what Dee Snider all those years can write anything? I mean, he was in Desperado. They got shelved. That album didn't come out for like a fucking decade. You know, by the time that album came out, I think fucking who was the drummer for fucking Iron Maiden? Clive Burr was dead, right? By the time that album came out. He did Widowmaker. I've never really listened to that. And it wasn't successful, so I'm sure it was in the European fucking festival set, but so is Wasp. So is Venom. So is fucking all these bands that like don't do shit in America. Yeah, I could go out and be in a fucking metal band and be in fucking Dork Festival or whatever. You know, it's like whatever, dude. But Still Hungry. I'll figure out when the fuck they recorded that. I'll put it up right here. It sold nothing because nobody because why would you buy that? Why? Hey, dude, Twisted Sister's back and they re-recorded Stay Hungry. We should go check that out. Fucking stupid. Motley Crue kicked Vince Neil out of the band, or he quit, one of the two. And they came out with a eponymous Motley Crue album in 1994 with John Corabi. And it went gold eventually after they spent like $20 million to make it, you know. what 5 years? Ooh, 5 fucking years, right? Then they came out, you know, they kicked John Corabi the fuck to the curb because, you know, Elektra Records was like, spent a ton of money, took a fucking bath on that fucking tour. I think they'd stopped paying. So the guys in the band had to like pay for shit on the tour with their credit cards and shit. You're a rock star, you get a bunch of money. Fund your own tour. They got Vince Neil back in the band and they recorded this Generation Swine album, which I love to talk shit about. I was watching an interview with him. Because have you seen that Vince Neil interview that they do? That was the other thing, you know, they just did this thing on Reels and it was just about Vince Neil. And it kind of goes over Vince's life. It's got his like loser son who Vince like fathered when he was like 17. This guy's like, he's got a gray mullet going on, and you can tell this guy's never worked a fucking day in his life because his dad's a fucking rock star. He's got like all these, yeah, I got 5 kids. Oh, I bet you do, dude. You looks like a loser. And he's sitting there like, my dad's so courageous. Is your dad really courageous? I watched that. You should watch it. It's interesting. Vince Neil's kind of an asshole. He kind of just blames everybody else. Like when they were talking about when he killed Razzle, he's like, well, nobody there told me not to. Nobody there tried to stop me. Dude, you're a fucking grown-up, motherfucker. Part of being a fucking person, being a grown-up, making decisions. Why you're blaming those guys? All the other drunk idiots at your house? That's your fucking fault. I thought that was a cheap shot. It was like, dude, don't point fingers at other fucking people. You're the one that got in the car. Razzle got in the car with you, so partially it's Razzle's dumbass fault too for getting in the fucking car with you. You know, common sense tells you. But at the same time, yeah, dude, you should have gone to prison for a lot of years. And you didn't. You served 15 fucking days. Paid your way out of fucking jail. And then they talk about Vince's daughter dying, and he's like sitting there like saying he tried to kill himself, tried to drink himself to death, and it was like, okay. And then he's like, none of the guys reached out. Well, of course they didn't want to reach out because, like, dude, you guys aren't tight like that. When you guys are in a band together, you're probably cool, but, like, there was a certain point where the guys in Motley Crue didn't exactly treat each other with respect. You know, where they were banging each other's wives and girlfriends and shit. So, you know, it's sad that Vince had to go through that, and it's sad that his daughter passed away like that. But at the same time, dude, you made your bed, man. You lay in it. But I thought that, well, yeah, you know, they were sitting there saying how courageous he is. Oh, people don't see how he works out and stuff. Dude, you're a rock star living in a palatial mansion. You made your money, and fuck, dude, you made your money. I don't want to say Vince Neil didn't make his money. He made his money. All of these guys, they made their money. If you as a consumer want to keep giving them money for doing nothing, for bullshit, that's on you. But don't blame them. Dude, they're making money, hand over fist. Can't take that away from them, man. Kudos for fucking Vince Neil for making a ton of fucking money. But at the same time, I don't look at him with this religious fervor saying what a courageous person he is, because he's not. He's a fat ass fucking rock star that works out like just enough so he doesn't die on stage, and then he just paces around like a fucking animal and barks out mostly nonsensical lyrics at this point. So, reading a teleprompter that Dee Snider will tell you. And Dee Snider, on the other hand, is in fucking tremendous shape, and he's fucking, because he didn't shoot cocaine into his cock or fucking snort fucking heroin off of fucking hookers' assholes. But at the same time, not even in the same league. You're not even, Dee Snider, you're not even in the same fucking league as Motley Crue. If you would have reached the stardom that they reached, I think it would have been a lot more difficult to, like, say no to shit. But you didn't have the opportunities and the shit thrown in your face like these motherfuckers. These guys were just like, fuck, dude, 4 million fucking platinum, 4 million platinum, 4 million platinum, 6 million, fuck. So they came out with that Generation Swine album. I'll get back to what I was talking about. But yeah, watch that Vince Neil thing. It was interesting. You did learn some things about Vince. Like, I didn't know he had a kid when he was 17. They were saying, oh, he was dyslexic. That's why he chose music. He was a douchebag. You know, like, it's funny how they, like, try and glaze over, like, and say, oh, you know, Vince had dyslexia, so that's why he was getting into trouble. Dude, he was selling drugs when he was a kid. He was a fucking piece of shit. Don't fucking glaze over that shit. Dude, everybody has issues. I have friends that have issues with fucking reading and shit, but they weren't out selling drugs, getting kicked out of school. You make your choices, dude. Don't fucking blame it on bullshit, because that's all bullshit. Got a fucking learning disorder? Be a fucking criminal and then be a rock star and then be a douchebag. Good job. Vince is such a hard worker. They came out with Generation Swine. In this Reels video, Vince said he fucking hated that album. Because it was terrible. Because it was all Karabi shit. It was all written in that Trent Reznor kind of alternative, grungy, kind of weird fucking try and be shocking kind of vein. And that wasn't Motley Crue. Motley Crue sings about girls, 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 drugs, cars, dumb teenage shit. That's what Motley Crue sings about and are successful. The devil. Shout at the devil. Generation Swine, 1997. It went gold. Yep. And then New Tattoo in 2000. It did not certify at all. That's the album where Nicky wrote most of the songs with James Michaels. From eventually he would be in 6 a.m. And then Saints of Los Angeles in 2008 didn't certify. And that album was totally written by fucking 6 a.m. Fucking DJ Ashba and James Michaels and Nikki Sixx. You know. By that time, Twisted Sister had come out with a Twisted Christmas. It's like a Christmas album. They came out in 2006. It's fun. I have it. It's nothing amazing. It didn't certify. In 1992, they came out with their greatest hits called Nasty Cuts. Big hits and nasty cuts. It didn't certify. But in 1991, Motley Crue came out with Decade of Decadence, which was a greatest hits album. Had a couple of new songs on it. It went double platinum. And then in 2005, they came out with Red, White, and Crew, which was a double disc set. And it was basically the greatest hits again for the fucking 30th time. And it had some new songs on it. And that went platinum. In 2005, Motley Crue had a platinum fucking album. So you could do the math and you could say, well, you know, Dee Snider sitting there talking shit about Vince Neil. I never needed a teleprompter because I didn't fuck myself up with drugs and alcohol. Well, dude, you were never in that fucking echelon. You think you were. Just because you were on MTV, just because you were like, you know, up there in Congress with fucking John Denver and fucking Frank Zappa, like talking shit to Tipper Gore, acting like you're this amazing person. It seems like Dee should learn to shut the fuck up. He's like, oh, I don't think I'm ever gonna do another album with original material on it. Oh no! I got the 2 Dee Snider solo albums. I did a review on it. Guess what? No one watched that show. You know why? Because no one fucking cares, dude. I thought they were fun. What were those albums called? Let me find them real quick. I thought the Desperado album was kind of cool. It sounded like Dee Snider trying to be in Whitesnake. Some fucking interesting shit on there. Let's see. Oh, I passed him. I'm all the way into Dio. Dio. All right, what year was that? 2016 was We Are the Ones. That album has like 4 good songs on it. And of course, he does We're Not Gonna Take It, the acoustic version. And then last year, Dee came out with a fucking album called Leave a Scar. And it was cool. There's like about 4 really cool songs on there. Nothing mind-blowing. Like today I was listening to like Under the Blade and I was just like, dude, Under the Blade? It's fucking hilarious. Dee Snider just thinks like he writes these fucking, like he's the poet, like he's fucking, you know, Bob Dylan or something, like he wrote these profound lyrics. Go listen to Under the Blade. Go listen to it. What you don't know sure can hurt you. That's an okay song. It's fun. Bad Boys of Rock and Roll. It's dumb. Run for Your Life is like really heavy in the beginning. And then it makes no sense. Like, read the lyrics. It's like it's like this aborted lyrical song. It's like there's like literally like 2 verses, and then it's gone. It's all chorus. It's like, were you telling a story and then you just didn't know what the fuck you were talking about? Because it seems like he's threatening this girl that broke his heart, and he's telling her, you better run for your life. So this morning I texted Dee on Twitter because I was listening to this song called Shoot 'Em Down. Boom, boom, boom. Let me see something here. Boom. See if I can find that. I was listening to this fucking song called Shoot 'Em Down. Boom, boom, boom. One more. Oh, yeah. Twisted Sister. Woo. I love reading lyrics on Lyric Genius. It's fun. Because it has the whole album, so you can just click from song to song to song. And you don't have to fucking, like, go find them. And it's fun to just put the headphones on and actually listen to the lyrics. Some of these songs are, you know, I don't know the fucking words to them. This album came out in 82, and I was never a huge fucking Twisted Sister fan. So I have the original mix of the album before, the remaster came out from Atlantic in, 85? Where they fucked it all up. Anyways, I texted Dee today because in the lyrics, now the lyrics Shoot 'Em Down, it's talking about a girl first, and then it's talking about a guy, and it's talking about, like, people who use people and just kick them to the curb. Like, people who just, like, manipulate people and then kick them to the curb just for fun. Like a chick will go pick up a guy, and she totally believes that he's completely out of her league, but she just does it so she could use him and then throw him away like a piece of dirt. And the same thing about the guy part. But it gets to this part, and I was kind of like, wow. So it says, well, they think they're hot. Well, I say they're not. They shoot us down for fun. If they want to play, let's make them pay. Shoot them down with a fucking gun. That's what the lyrics are. And then it's like, shoot them down, 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 shoot them down to the ground. Come on now. So I sent Dee a fucking tweet this morning with those lyrics. I screenshot the lyrics and I sent it to him. I said, hey Dee, do you ever regret, like, any of your lyrics? And then I put, I don't believe that an artist should. But at the same time, there's always some fucking kook out there that takes them literally. And I don't believe in that too. Dude, just because you wrote lyrics and said, hey, we should go fucking gun these motherfuckers down, I don't have a problem with that. Now, if somebody goes out and acts out on that, then I have a problem with that because you're an asshole and you're a fucking psycho. I have been listening to metal since I was a wee lad. I've heard a lot of crazy shit. I'm not a fucking Satanist. I don't go out and murder people. I haven't tried to commit suicide because I listened to fucking Fade to Black from fucking Metallica, or Suicide Solution from Ozzy, because I was actually smart enough to understand that Bob Daisley was talking about drinking yourself to death and not killing yourself because you need to be depressed or something. Sorry, I was a smart kid, I guess. Life, it seems to fade away, drifting further every day. God, I gotta listen to that. It's such a great fucking song. So, yeah, man. This is a long, rambling fucking show as usual, but, real quick, I'll fucking go down the list of fucking Twisted Sister albums. Out of the 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of the 6 Twisted Sister albums, it's pretty easy to fucking rank them, so I'll just rank them real quick. Number 6 coming in is going to be Love Is for Suckers, the Dee Snider solo album that turned into a fucking Twisted Sister album. Wake Up the Sleeping Giant is a cool song, and Tonight is a cool song. The rest of it, like, it's alright. It's not as terrible as people, like, think, because once again, this was supposed to be a Twisted Sister, or this was supposed to be a Dee Snider solo album, but Dee Snider wrote every fucking song for Twisted Sister, so what's the difference, right? So, yeah, 1987, Love Is for Suckers. That's going to be number 6. Number 5 is going to be A Twisted Christmas. Came out in 2006. It's a fucking cool album, man. It's just fun to listen to. It's a Christmas album. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Come all you faithful. The 12 Days of Christmas is fucking awesome, right? Lita Ford's on here, right? I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus. What's the fucking bonus track? We wish you a Merry Christmas. Wow. Like, it's a cool album to throw on. I know they used to do these shows, these Twisted Christmas shows, and they kind of stopped doing that because Twisted Sister, like, broke up in, like, what, 2014 or something like that? After AJ Barrow died, they went on a fucking farewell tour and then called it quits. And Dee Snider will tell you they've had lucrative offers to get back together, but none of the guys have wanted to get back together. But lucrative offers. I don't think it's $100 million like Motley Crue. But hey, Dee would have to share a little bit more of the money. That's number 5, A Twisted Christmas for 2006. Number 5, Come Out and Play. Now, I don't mind the fucking Leader of the Pack. I don't. I mind the rest of the fucking album. There's only, like, Leader of the Pack's alright, and Kill or Be Killed. Those are the 2 best songs off this. The song he does with Alice Cooper, Be Cool to Your School, like, it's just dumb. And that's the thing, like, Dee Snider just thought he was so fucking clever, but he's fucking not. Dude, you're not. Even in 1985 when I was 15, I didn't think this album was clever. And you're like my dad's age. Exactly. That's what it is. It's like seeing Dee Snider on Twitter was like watching my dad on Twitter. He'd say the same stupid shit. Come Out and Play, man. It was a detractor for fucking Twisted Sister, and this pretty much derailed their career. Because, well, and you know, how much shelf life did they actually have? Really? So all their songs kind of sounded the same. They did. So, number 3, I'm going to go Stay Hungry. From 1984. It's got Burning Hell on it, which is fucking great. They did it in the Pee Wee Herman. You know, they're on the car and they're singing, "You gotta burn in hell. Oh, burn in hell." That's like probably my favorite Twisted Sister song of all time. It is. Burn in Hell. It's got We're Not Gonna Take It and I Wanna Rock. Those are the other 2 amazing songs. It's got SMF, Sick Motherfucker on it. It's alright. Stay Hungry is alright. Horatoria, the beginning with Captain Howdy. Captain Howdy. It's alright. But that was the thing is like, you know, Dee Snider thought he was this fucking master that he could fucking just weave a story, and it was like, lyrically, most of these songs were dumb as fuck. So, sorry, Dee. Number 2, I'm going to go Under the Blade. Their debut album came out on this little tiny fucking label. What was that label? Originally it was... Yeah, it was on Secret, and it was such a secret that the label went out of fucking business, so there was like no way to get this fucking album. I have the secret version. In 85, like fucking Atlantic Records redid this fucking album because of Stay Hungry was so fucking popular. And they added on this song, which was like a single that they did back in 1979 called I'll Never Grow Up Now. And that was on the 85 Atlantic. I don't have that version. I have the original version. Sounds muddy and shitty because it costs like $3 to make. But Pete Way from UFO, from Fastway, right? He fucking produced this album. It's fucking cool, man. It's got some good songs on it. Tear It Loose is pretty cool with Fast Eddie Clark. It's got fucking Under the Blade, which was on the Filthy 15, because Tipper Gore thought it was about sadomasochism, and it turned out it was just about like going into surgery. Yeah, that's where Dee got to talk shit to Tipper Gore in Washington. He got to say the only thoughts of sadomasochism are in Mrs. Gore's fucking head. Which, kudos, man. This is a cool album. It was like an underground kind of album. What You Don't Know, Sure Can Hurt You. It's a fun song. I like Shoot 'Em Down, especially with the Go Get a Fucking Gun and Kill That Motherfucker lyrics. Those are cool. Run for Your Life, Man, at the beginning of it is super fucking heavy. The lyrics go nowhere. There's a song on here called Sin After Sin. It's very Judas Priesty. It's kind of cool. It's like, dude, sin after sin. And he talks about Satan's gonna get you. So that's like the one satanic fucking Twisted Sister song, Sin After Sin. Go find it and listen to it. And then Day of the Rocker sounds like straight AC/DC. It's like the last song on the album. It's a cool album. I dig it. It's kind of dumb. Lyrics are not awesome, but it's fun. And my number one is going to be 1983's You Can't Kill Rock and Roll. You can't stop rock and roll. You can't kill rock and roll. That's funny. Just channeling fucking Diary of a Madman, sorry. This is musically like their best fucking album. I mean, to me it is. The Kids Are Back is a fucking great opening track. Knife in the Back. The title track is fucking awesome. And it's fun to watch that old video. I'll Take You Alive. We're gonna make it. I'm me. This is a cool fucking album. And this is, to me, like Twisted Sister's best moment was 1983 when they fucking came out with this album. Because it's a fucking good album. This is kind of when Twisted Sister was kind of underground still. They were kind of making their way over there in Europe, doing like European festivals. So I'll try and find the picture, but there's a picture with Ronnie Dio and Dee, and they were probably at Donington or something. But they were starting to make some noise over there in fucking Europe. I know a lot of they would go to these festivals and fans would just throw shit at them because they were like, what the fuck are these guys? Because they'd be wearing their fucking stage outfits and shit. But to me, that never bothered me. I never really looked at Twisted Sister as far as their outfits or their image. I didn't really do that. I just kind of listened to their music, and their music was nothing mind-blowing. There was nothing fucking mind-blowing about Twisted Sister. Motley Crue, on the other hand, dude, Motley Crue was like the fucking soundtrack to my childhood, man. When we put on fucking Shout at the Devil in 83 for the first fucking time, I was blown away. I didn't get that with fucking Twisted Sister, but I'm not from Long Island, so maybe if I was from Long Island and I wasn't from the West Coast, maybe it's West Coast versus East Coast, right? No, it's not. It's 100 million albums versus 12 million albums. So bottom line is, Dee Snider should shut the fuck up. He wishes he had Vince Neil's money and popularity. Fuck, we can look up Vince Neil. Let's real quick. I'm going to fucking look up something here because I'm pretty sure. Boom, boom, boom. No. I think they're even on solo albums. Although Vince's solo album it went gold in Japan. Exposed went gold in Japan. It sold 100,000 copies. But that album he did with the Dust Brothers, Carved in Stone, yikes. I mean, why doesn't Dee make fun of that? You know, that's what he should be making fun of. He should be making, maybe he should be making fun of, I mean, Dee's in phenomenal shape, so he should be making fun of, you know, Vince for being a fat ass, but at the same time, you know, Vince has the street cred. Street vendor taco cred too, man. But hey, that's my metal show. Everybody out there, stay metal. Yeah.